Hey there. I get a lot of questions from newbies at Squarespace how to format images on Squarespace. And for those of you who have used Squarespace for a while, there are some really cool new features that are going to make your website look so much more dynamic. So I'm going to detail those in this video. Here we are inside Squarespace. I've got a page open and in the edit view here. So you can see that up here, it's showing the edit. And the first thing we're going to do in this empty section is add an image. Go here and I will go ahead and add an image from my library. Take a second to load here. And I'll choose, we'll choose this bouquet. And okay, now one of the first questions I get is, I upload my image, it's huge. I don't want it to be so huge. How do I make it smaller? There are a few ways you can do that. The first thing you can do is here in design, you've got a bunch of different options. So one that I use a lot is the card. So then you can have your text on the side. Don't worry that your image disappeared. Sometimes it disappears while you're in the edit area, and then when you click done and save, it will appear. So in this view, you can go image left or image right, and that's a really nice way to resize it. So let's take a look at that for a moment. Go done, save. Now, you're also aware in Squarespace you can decide how big your image is going to, or how big your page is going to be. So let's take a look at that feature here. We'll click the edit option again, and now we'll click this pencil icon. So you have the option content width small, medium, or large. Right now it's on large. We go medium, it brings it together, the image gets smaller, small, even smaller. Okay, so you have those three options as well. Now let's click done and save again. And I'll just make this a little smaller so you can see better. There we go. And let's see what happens when we, we edit our image again. So we click on the image, the pencil icon on the image, and then we'll go to design and we'll go back to inline, which was just a plain image in there. And now let's see what happens when we change our section width. So I clicked outside the image and now I clicked on the section, and this pencil icon edits the section. Medium width, it will shrink the image there, and small there. But this will mean all your content in the section will be that wide as well. You can see if you add some text here, it's also going to be the same width that you have. As you can see, it's wrapping there. So let's take a look again at what that looks like at the medium width and then the large. You can see the text down there. All right, let's bring it to medium width and we will do some more playing with that image. Okay, so I want to show you one other way you can control the size of the image is with spacer blocks or other content. So you can add a spacer block and then you can drag it, for example, to the left of your image. Now you can see here there's a block here, so when it does that, it's on the left of both of those blocks, the block above the image and the image. Or if I kind of jiggle it around, it will go just to the image, which is what I want. And now that spacer block I can adjust to whatever size I want. And then I can add another spacer block and drag it over to the other side if I want this image centered. And then I can resize both of them the way I want. Okay, so if I wanted this text to be in the same column, we could hover over until we see the line, the width of the image. Okay, another way to do that is at the top of your section to create spacer blocks to kind of outline the types of columns you want. So let me show you how to do that. It makes it a little easier than what I just did with the that blue line on the sides, because you saw how that's a little bit wonky sometimes. Okay, so we got 4 spacer blocks. I'm going to put one above the image, and well, we'll just do it from scratch. So there's one all full width, and then I'm going to put one on the left and one on the right. And so you would do this before you add your image. Let's just even delete the image so you can see this in real time. Let's delete all of this. Okay, so this is setting us up for a 3-column layout. We don't need that text box. So all we've got in our section now is this 3-column layout. So we want, let's say, our middle section to be wider. Then we can bring this out and drag this out, okay? Or let's say we want to have our right section to be wider, and then the left section to be smaller, or like that, okay? So let's just imagine we want 3 even blocks here, and that's even. So we're going to put, and we're going to make this one large, and we're going to add our image here. Now we can click below, image, add the image, select from library, we'll choose bouquet, and it will add it right below there. Okay, and then same if we wanted to add text over here or just leave it blank, you just hover over, click the blue icon, and it's going to keep everything in these 3 columns. All right, so that is standard image resizing options in Squarespace. I will say one of the advantages of like the card that I showed you is that it keeps the, so we have the card option here. It keeps the content together in kind of a block, even when you go on mobile or the browser window resizes and stuff. Whereas when you go inline and, you know, let's say we put text over here, when we get into mobile, it's going to take the text and either put it above or below the image because it needs to make the whole website narrower for mobile. So oftentimes using that card layout is a good option for consistency of design between full-size browser window and mobile. You have some other options here. Poster, you want to be careful about that for accessibility, make sure people can read it. This current one in those colors would not pass accessibility checks. Card, I showed you. Overlap, so this one, the first line overlaps with a background color. Collage, and this one it's like a block of text over the image. And stacking, it puts the text below the image in a block so they stay together. Okay, like I said, I mostly use the card function. Okay, the other stuff I want to show you, which is the new features in Squarespace 7.0 that are really exciting, are here, the corner radius. So if we want to round the corners, we can click here and do just the tops or the bottoms, or we can do all of them and get rounded corners like this. See how they're rounded here? And this number is pixels. So 20 pixels, 50 pixels gets rounder and rounder, okay? Other cool thing that's a new feature is here under shape. And you can see you can make a round image or all of these crazy cool images. Look at that. So this is totally new and just adds a lot of more dynamic possibilities to your website in terms of visual design. And these are the ratios of the image. So this is taking a square image. This is making it kind of tall and long, tall and narrow. And this one goes wide. So you've got all those options there. There was one more I wanted to show you, which was, Okay, well, let's go back to original. So if you want to, for example, have the top rounded, which I thought was an option in the shapes, but it wasn't showing up just there. You can put it like this. And so, like I said, these are going to be pixels. So if you wanted the top completely round, you would need to put in, half the pixels for however wide this is. So let's say maybe it's 300 pixels or 400 pixels. So we'll put 200 here. And if we put 200 here, then we get a totally round, it's not quite there, but close enough, round image on the top. So that is a new feature in images. The animation feature, usually I like to set it on the site default so that whatever you have your site set is consistent throughout the site. You can have the fade in, slide up. You watch the text slide up there. You see the text slide up. Horizontal clip. I think that's really cheesy. Vertical clip, also cheesy. Don't do that. Tilt up. Okay, fine. Tilt down. Yeah, fine. Focus in. That can be nice. Collide. Don't do that one either. Cheesy. Reveal. No, don't do that either. And then you could do a custom thing as well. And you can change the image or text. I like to have it the same, and like I said, I like to set it for the site default for consistency, or if you don't want any, click none for some images. That would be appropriate. All right, there you have it. That's how you change the size of images in Squarespace, how you use the different layouts of cards and collage and so on, and the new features of how to make rounded or other shaped images in Squarespace. I hope you have fun with that.